Things just took a major turn for the New York Jets as the NFL saw a very, very large profile move happen today, and it took very little time for the New York Jets to become linked to this player, and we're going to break it all down as Aaron Glenn does know this player well from the NFC North. So with all that in mind, what's up? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're part of that 67% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this, plus way more. Might have a few two-a-days coming up, so you do not want to miss out on any of that great Jets content. But let's jump into this. There's a lot to discuss. A lot of you probably understand what we're talking about right here, as the New York Jets now have the opportunity to sign a very talented defender in Jaire Alexander, who did get moved on from today. As we know, Matt, it was revealed today by Ian Rappaport that this was going down, as the Packers and Jaire Alexander agreed to explore a potential trade this spring, while a restructured contract was also discussed. But in the end, Green Bay and Alexander move on with a clean break. And Patrick McAvoy from Sports Illustrated said that New York currently has just over $36 million in cap space per over the cap. The Jets have already signed one cornerback this offseason in Brandon Stephens. New York's number one corner undoubtedly is Sauce Gardner. Stephens is expected to start opposite of him, and the team has other cornerback options like Michael Carter II and 2025 fourth round pick Malachi Moore. While this was the case, Alexander is a guy worth pursuing. The vast majority of moves made by the Jets this offseason has been about getting the roster younger. Alexander is just 28 years old, so he could work from that perspective as well. So, Matt, as we know, Darren Mougey is no stranger to making moves, but pretty surprising one right there to see the New York Jets pursue Jaire Alexander.
First of all, shout out Sports Illustrated for getting our third round pick, Azariah Thomas, a cornerback, and then announcing Malachi Moore as a corner instead of a safety. But talking about this guy here, Jaire Alexander, he's been a really good corner ever since he came out of Louisville. He started off a little bit slow his rookie and second season, but then he really, like you said, two-time Pro Bowler. This guy's a really good cornerback. The question is, do the New York Jets need more corners on this team? We know Aaron Glenn, he was a defensive back when he played in the NFL in the 90s. He knows how to get the most out of the defensive backs that are on the lineup in the locker room right now, which is why I would be opposed to signing Jaire Alexander. Not because he's not good. He's a very good corner. The problem would be with very good players in free agency comes very big price tags. Jaire Alexander will no doubt fetch somewhere about like 21, maybe a little bit higher, $1 million per year. This is a very good corner. It is rare that players this good hit free agency. The reason why he's available is because of a long injury history that whoever decides to pick up Jaire Alexander will have to live with, work around. They're going to have to find a way to make sure he's healthy, because when he's on the field, any given game, he could make a really big play, unless he's playing against Treylon Burks. Anyone else, he is a lockdown corner against. I'm surprised that even with the injuries, I'm surprised the Green Bay Packers decided to move on from Jaire Alexander. I am very excited to see where this player ends up next, although I'm hoping it's not the New York Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's nothing against Jaire Alexander personally. The price tag's an issue. On top of that, the Jets do have a very, very deep, young defensive back team in general. So it's one of these situations where we've talked about this a bunch, how Azariah Thomas likely could end up as a mainstay at that Jets cornerback position while Stephens moves into the safety spot. We've talked about this a few different times on this channel already, that would not be the most shocking thing to happen. So you throw Jaire Alexander in there. For one, the Jets, I know they're not all out saying they're a tanking team, and they are in a way this island of misfit toys where they're going to try to win as many games as possible and instill that winning culture in the team. But at the same time, it's not like anybody, namely Vegas, 5.5 over under, is expecting the New York Jets to be some great team, let alone Jaire Alexander. So it would be weird in a way if he signed with the Jets just because it would have felt like he didn't get offers from better teams elsewhere. Outside of that, like, I do like the idea. I know he's been injured, but when he's healthy, he's been a productive player. There's no way around it. And I mean, I've liked him as a talent. It makes I agree. I don't know why the Packers would have gotten rid of him. He's a guy who has made the Pro Bowl or been All-Pro twice, made the Pro Bowl as well in those same years. Obviously, people don't really care about the Pro Bowl, and rightfully so. But for the most part, he's been a very solid corner. I mean, the man had a pick 6 this year. He had 2 interceptions this year. He's had years where he had 5 interceptions. The man has been great when he's healthy. It's just a matter of when he's healthy. And I feel like both Alexander and the Jets are going to, how you hear of mutual interest, I feel like it's just going to be mutual disinterest.
Chris, Jaire Alexander is a good player. If you've been paying attention to the Jets free agency strategy, they have not been signing good players. They've been signing guys who have been cast away, and they're hoping that they are low price investments that hit in a big way. That's what every single signing has been, other than that Brandon Stevens signing, which was head scratching to a lot of people. We're going to have to see how that works out. We're going to trust the GM for now. But Jaire Alexander is going to be an expensive guy on a team that he's going to look at the New York Jets and say, that's not a team who's going to win a lot of games this year. I'm going to need to get paid even more money if I'm going to end up on that team, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, we're hoping that the New York Jets are going to surprise a lot of people this season, but players, when they're looking over the landscape of the league, if you want to win, you're probably not going to pick the New York Jets. Jaire Alexander has been in the league for 7 years. He hasn't won the Super Bowl, hasn't been to the Super Bowl. The Packers do a lot of winning in the regular season, and they have won a couple postseason games while he's been there. But if he wants to compete, that's just gonna be another reason for him to pick another team other than the New York Jets. I wish this team was in a position where they could sign the really big, exciting names in free agency. Unfortunately, that was last year. This year, we're in a different boat where we need to go try to find a diamond in the rough and try to build for the future.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, it was fun, obviously, that offseason when we got Aaron Rodgers and ended up getting Dalvin Cook, and then last offseason sort of seeing the same thing to a degree. It was fun. It was a good time. It made headlines. It was fun to talk about on this channel and just in person, but it became this sour taste so quickly that the fact that the Jets aren't rushing to make the biggest signings and do all this, it sort of feels like they actually are sticking to their plan that they came in with, which, as we know, as of right now, Woody Johnson has stayed out of things. It's very likely that won't continue to happen if Woody Johnson's track record is going to stay consistent. So then we'll see bigger names come to the Jets if things are not working. But it's a matter of making things work. And the Jets, it feels like they want to move fairly quickly in this rebuild, knowing that they have basically all the franchise pieces you need to win except for a quarterback.
The problem is the quarterback's the hardest thing to find. I know Woody Johnson has that history of meddling with the team. Usually I say trust what people do, not what they say. With Woody Johnson here, I really feel like he's going to give Aaron Glenn the benefit of the doubt, and he's going to give Aaron Glenn a fair chance to do everything his way and is not going to interfere with Aaron Glenn's plans and Darren Mougey's plans. Looking at the history of both of those men, Aaron Glenn wants to move in silence. Woody Johnson historically wants to make the big, loud, splashy move. They can't coexist together. I think Woody Johnson knows that, so he knows if this is going to have any chance to work out, he needs to be the one to take a step back, because the head coach definitely can't take a step back. So it's going to have to be Woody Johnson who takes a step back, lets Aaron Glenn do his thing, run the team the way he wants, pick up the players who he wants, and have the team atmosphere that the head coach is looking for. He has to be the number one voice in the locker room. Brick Johnson better not be in that locker room. Woody Johnson, he can be in the locker room if we're winning a lot of games. Then you can go in. If stuff isn't going well, you can't be in the locker room talking trash to our own players. That absolutely is something that cannot happen and doesn't happen with the successful franchises.
It doesn't happen with 31 NFL franchises. It's the one. It's the one that hasn't made the playoffs in a decade and a half at this point. And obviously there's a consistent reason there of Woody Johnson. But at the same time, this Jets regime is hell-bent on changing that. And I do trust them more than I trust Saleh, just based off the way everything's went thus far. But obviously, we're going to need to see it play out on the field throughout the season. Look, I mean, 2 questions for you. One that's just kind of a fun one. Obviously, not the most Jet-centric, is just where do you think Alexander would end up? But also, on a separate note, say this rebuild goes right. How long before we are going for guys who are of that Jaire Alexander name caliber.
So let's say it goes perfectly right and Justin Fields plays really well. We would first we'd re-sign him to a longer deal.
Yeah.
Then right after that, you can go looking for these players. Is cornerback the position where I go find it with the second highest paid nickelback and one of what should be the first highest paid cornerback in Sauce Gardner? Wouldn't go out and pay a third corner, especially with the rookies that we have in who can play safety or nickel corner. I would go out and go get other big names, but it could be as fast as 1 year. We watched the Washington Commanders draft Jaden Daniels. They're amazing. They're already going after big name guys. 2 years ago, it was the Houston Texans. 1 year, they were terrible. Second overall pick, both of those franchises. Now they are playing in the playoffs, winning playoff games. Their franchises, their fans have hope, and they are going big name hunting, just like the New York Jets can be if the Justin Fields experiment works out.
Well, I hope the Justin Fields thing works out because they're not signing Jaire Alexander. But also, real quick, any Jaire Alexander prediction?
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, I would imagine he goes somewhere where the team's good. The team that seems to be signing everyone is the Detroit Lions and the New England Patriots, but both of those teams went to free agency and picked up a cornerback already. The Patriots got Carlton Davis from the Lions. The Lions got DJ Reed from the Jets. So both of those teams are out of that game now. He's going to go somewhere where they need defensive backs. I'm seeing a lot of people saying the Bengals are going to be where he ends up. That makes a lot of sense. The Cincinnati Bengals need everything on defense except for a top-tier pass rusher. And if they don't pay Trey Hendrickson, they might need that too.
Well, there you have it, guys. Guys, what do you think about this? Should the Jets go after Jaire Alexander? Should they not, for the reasons that we discussed here? What do you think about the Jets' future in general? Let us know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'm going to cut Matt's hair. Go Jets.